Good day. Hot one, isn't it? Thursday. Going to be even hotter tomorrow. What's the time now? I don't know, it's about 11:30. I'm packing up. I've had enough. I definitely won't be working tomorrow. Not in 30 odd degrees. No, good for the health. Far better for a pub garden. Right. Arches. Setting out arches. Doing your own arches. I mean, they all come pre-made now, don't they? But sometimes, especially if you're doing remedial work, you know, it might be a failed arch. You've got to mimic that. Do it. I mean, if you know, all the books are available, all the geometry's in there. But today I'm going to show you how I set out a jack arch, flat arch, Georgian arch. It's all the same. At college we called them a flat cambered arch because they're flat on the top and there is a slight camber on the bottom. I'll explain that later. I'm going to show you how to set one out using just normal bricks with 10mm joints, because it's easier for me to explain, and also that's how they come on site when they're pre-made with 10mm joints. About 4 or 5 years ago I was on a block of flats and the builder didn't order the arches soon enough, and I was 3-month wait list or something, so I made them for him. It was about 12, I think. So with them I made the joints a bit smaller, about 5mm. I think it looks better, but for the purpose of today it'll help explain it all, how I do it. Yeah, so I've got myself a little room we can use. So yeah, let's get on with it. Right, flat cambered arch. Right, what I've done, I've set this one out would be on site, and it's 1810, 1810mm, that's 5mm either side, so you get your framing. Right, we're using standard bricks. So you start off with the springing point. Well, I wouldn't, I'll start off with the centre really. Mark your centre, and then we know we have a key brick in the middle. We must have an odd number of bricks in the arch. Key brick, and then if it's bonded, it's got to be even courses either side. I'm only going to set half this out to show you. So, centre line, mark your key brick in the middle. The skew back, now there's rules for the skew back, and the rule is it's 1 inch, it lays back 1 inch for every foot span. So 1800 is 6 foot, so it's 6 inches. So I measured 6 inches from there to there, which comes to there, and then the other rule is that this should be 60 degrees. That's not really set, but actually I've done this at 6 inches, I've checked that, and it is 60 degrees. But if you're using, if it was a gauged brickwork and it was red rubbers or something, I mean they're about 6 inches wide. This gauge doesn't matter. You'd work to that 6 inch mark, the 60 degrees mark, because your bricks are going to be cut to it. We're using just normal standard bricks. So we've got the gauge from the centre brick to our mark there, 75mm of course. Now I've marked it, and it brings me to there, which is a little bit over 60 degrees. That's fine, it doesn't matter, you know, it's not that set. You could knock 2mm off of course, which I may do if I was doing it on site, to bring it back to the 60mm, and you've got 8mm joints, which looks alright. So we've set that out, right? We know that works. Now, what they would tell you to do in college or any of the books is chase that line down right the way to the centre of the arch, which is down there on the floor somewhere. It's impractical, it really is. So what we know is we've got 14 bricks through there and the key brick. So if we measure from there to the end of the arch, which would be 1800 for courses, divide that by 14, 24, 29 courses. Divide that by 29, and that gives me 62mm a course. So now we know this gauge is 62mm. So start with the key brick again, do your 62mm one there, then gauge it back to there. And there, now, without any geometry, you've now got, too accurate here. Good enough for what we want. Just do one more. Right, there you go. I'll put the joint in. Quickly do this. You get the general idea of it. There you go. That's how you set it out. Yeah, that's it. It's as simple as that. And then it's going to be bonded. So, yeah, however way you want to start it, really. You can start it off like that. Sweet as, eh? Right, let's go on to the next bits. Okay, next what you have to consider is the optical illusion with these flat arches. So if you're building one, you're going to replace one maybe on a sash window or something, so it's going to be a true arch, it won't be sitting on anything. These arches, you get an optical illusion where it looks like they sag. So what you do, you have to put a rise on them. And the rule is, the old rule is, it's 1/8 of an inch per foot span. In this case we'll do it metric, it's 3 millimetres every 300. So that gives me from there to the rise 18 mil. Now I've always found it too much. I've always halved it and it's fine. So how you do this, you put a nail in there, and now we'll leave it at 18 mil higher there, and a nail there. Then you want a piece of batten, which will go right the way up to there somewhere. A piece of batten there, so that's touching that point, and that point. Then you have to, just brace it with the batten across there. It's a two-man job, so I can't really show you. So you've got this diagonal, this triangle there, yeah, this triangle, and then you move it. I can sort of show you like this. You move it like that along with your pencil in that point there. So the pencil, as you move along, gives you that arch, that arc. You got it? The pencil will go there. You've got another bit there. And you just chase that through. Right. Normally, when you're doing these nowadays, it sits on a cat and nick lintel. I think it's because the cat nick lintel's straight, it takes away that optical illusion. You don't need to do that. I've done them on garages, 3 metres long, and straight, not doing this arc bit in it at all, and it doesn't look like it sags. So I think it's the lintel that does it. Right, what was it now? Oh yeah. If they're sitting on the lintel, which they generally will be. Now this is 300. I find you have to take 5 mil off this bottom to make it 295, and that allows you for your lintel just sitting on there. 'Cause you don't bed them on the lintel, you just let them all sit on there dry, and that works out fine. Just to make them 295 from there to the top. I mean that's from there down. So that bit goes with your brickwork, 295 down, and that allows for the bit of lintel on it. And then when you lay them, I'll just make a gauge rod to that, and one on the bottom. You can lay that gauge rod on the top from there to there, and just lift it up as you put your each brick in. So that's right, gauge rod on the bottom, and it just range them in each one. I think that's it really. When you're cutting them, I mean, you do this, you have to make a template for each one. You can make one template and mark each one off there. I find it's so minimal you can get a bit messed up on it, so I tend to take the time and cut a template for each one. When you cut this, I find it's more accurate if you leave these over the sides and cut them as you're laying it, because you can sort of bed them in. You'll have a string line across the top there, you can mark them and then just cut them there. Because with these normal standard bricks, when you're laying down, they wobble about a bit. Well, it's alright, but you know, I've done loads like it, but it seems more accurate if you do it as you go. Yeah, flat camber arch, how to do it. I hope that's helpful. You never know, you might have to do one. Nothing to be scared of, just same as everything, just got to work accurate. That'll be fine. Thanks. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe.